right, this is Honors Algebra 2 Pre-Calculus. We're doing section 1.2 in Algebra 2, and we're doing example 3 on page 15. So in example 3, we're asked to write the equation in slope-intercept form from this given graph. And then we're going to do the same thing in P3. So we're given the point 3, 0, and 0, 2. So anytime I'm asked to write the equation of a line, it's easiest to have a slope and a point. So I'm going to start by finding the slope. So I'm going to use my slope between these 2 points. Now, I really like my y's to come out positive, so I'm going to subtract this way, okay? So I'm going to do 2 minus 0 on the top and 0 minus 3 on the bottom. So I'm going to get a 2 over a negative 3, or you could write that as a negative 2/3, or you could write it as a negative in front of the 2 over 3. It doesn't matter. And then, honestly, I'm handed the y-intercept. My y-intercept is 2. Right, so b is 2, so my equation is negative 2/3 x plus 2, so y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. Now, I'm going to say that in general, I advocate for not doing this, not jumping straight here, even though they asked you to. What we'll talk about in the next section when we do 1.3 is how I actually think it's much better if you use point slope here, and I'll walk you through that. So let's do a P3. If you don't want to see me do it first, you should pause me now and try P3. So in P3, we're given the point 0, 3, which is the y-intercept, and 1, 4. Cool. So first thing I'm going to do is find my slope. Since I like my y's to come out positive, I'm going to subtract 4 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 over 1 minus 0 means I get 1 over 1, so my slope is 1. And I'm already given the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 3. So since I know that, my equation is 1x plus 3, or if you want, you could just write it as x plus 3. Either of those would be fine. Conventionally, we just don't bother to write the 1 when it's the coefficient. Cool. All right. We're going to go ahead and talk about example 4. So in example 4, we're going to graph by using intercepts. We'll do the same thing in E4 and P4. So we're now on page 16. So example 4, we are given, so we're going to graph by intercepts. And we're going to be given stuff that is in standard form, which is really the best time to graph by intercepts. So we have 2x minus 3y equals 6. And in P4, which is the same as E4 but with a different equation, we have 5x plus 3y equals 15. Okay, so remember, to find the intercepts, essentially we're plugging in x equals 0 and y equals 0. So to find my x-intercept, I want to plug in that the y-coordinate is 0. So if I do that, I get 2x plus 0 equals 6, and apparently x is 3. So that's the point. So the point I get from that is the point 3, 0. If I plug in to find my y-intercept, I'm going to plug in x is 0. So that would be 0 minus 3y equals 6. Y is negative 2. So that's going to give me the point 0, comma, negative 2. Once I know that, that's enough for me to graph my line, right? So here's 0, negative 2. Here's 3, 0. There's my line. Easy peasy. All right, let's do the same with P4. You are welcome to pause me if you don't want me to do the problem first. So I'm going to go ahead and find my x-intercept by plugging in y equals 0. I'm going to find my y-intercept by plugging in x equals 0. Right? And then I'll go ahead and graph. So when I plug in y as 0, I get 5x plus 0 is 15. Seems x is a 3, so I get another 3, comma 0. When I plug in x is 0, I get 0 plus 3y equals 15, so I get y is 5. So I get 0, comma 5. Well, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 5. 1, 2, 3. There's my 3, 0. Easy peasy. There's my graph. Cool beans?